Hey, it's the lunatic from the woods here, out here in the middle of the woods. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to talk about semen retention a little bit, and like, isn't it just common sense? Um, so what I mean about that is like, isn't this just common sense to people? Like, I had a video, semen retention benefits, and I talked a lot about like how like I just had this idea in my head, and this, or I remind you, like when I was like in my 20s, like my early 20s, like it was like the year 2000, 2001 or something like that. So I mean the internet was just coming out, like it was just dial up, and I really didn't even use it. I didn't even have a cell phone. The cell phones were those flip phones, and I think you could text message on them, but like no one ever used it for that. Because, I mean, they were like fairly new too. I mean, they were just getting popular. Everyone just started to have them. So, I mean, I had this idea, and like one of my friends was like, that's a spiritual practice. And I was like, I didn't even know it was a spiritual practice. Like, I just was doing it for women attraction. Because, yeah, I mean, guys in their 20s, like, that's all they really think about. That's all they care about is like getting women. I mean, it's just being older, like I just have no interest in that at all. Like it just does. I kind of laugh at it because like, how are you gonna get a woman? You gonna capture her in her net? What are you doing? she's just another person, you know. There's really nothing to get. There's really nothing. I feel like it kind of runs along the lines of like owning property with like the Native Americans. Like that concept didn't make any sense. They're like, well, you know, like how are you gonna own property? It's, you know, it's land. You can't own it. Like that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I mean, anyone who does it on that gross level, you're just gonna fail. I actually was able to succeed in doing it for like 9 months. I don't even know how I did it for that long, or like, I mean, it did make me feel really good and everything, but then like I knew nothing about like ego or anything, or how your mind plays tricks on you. I mean, my mind was just playing tricks on me, like, and it does work. Like, I mean, you will get female attraction if you're on that for a long time, because you'll become more confident and everything. Like all that stuff it's real. Like that's, in my experience, like that's what it does. But I mean, you want to do it for more spiritual practices. You want to do it for something that's going to last. I mean, what do you think's going to happen like when you get a girl? I mean, all people are in different spots in their life. Like I'm not really at that spot anymore. I was when I was in my 20s, so I do relate. A lot of it could just be like lack of experience. Like you'd never experience these things. You never experience being in a long-term relationship. Maybe you never experienced having sex with a woman, you know, and you want to I mean, that's fine. You know, it's all just, you know, it's experience. Like that's what we're here for, to experience things. And then there's people like me that are just in the later stages where you've just been there, you've done that, and you don't really care. Like you want to try to get closer to God and everything, and you don't really want, you kind of know where it goes and everything like that, so you just don't really care about it. But it always seemed like common sense to me, and every once in a while, like after the 9 months, I would do it again, you know, just to get that. Like that's what I used it for, just to get that women attraction. But I feel like you could use it for so much more. It's so valuable, and this is like your life force energy, especially when you get older. You know, you don't want all kinds of health problems and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, these things, I mean, like if you're not on this, I mean, and you're pleasure seeking and stuff, the Buddha talked about this. I mean, the pleasure seeking and everything, it's so destructive, because it works kind of like a paradox. Like, I mean, you're doing these things to pleasure yourself or to relieve yourself, and you become more frustrated and more irritable. It's kind of like if you don't do it for a long time, like these things fade into the background. Like you're like that's what I kind of wanted, and I did succeed in doing that, just eliminating lust. But I mean, you can't really get cocky about it because you are still in a physical body. So I mean, that lust will come back, and it does from time to time. It does, but it's subtle now. It's not controlling your life. You don't want it to control your life. You don't want it taking up 90% of your life force, because a lot of guys, like, they're stuck in that, and it's just sucking up every little bit of energy that they have. I mean, you could do a lot of things with that energy. Imagine having 90% more energy, going from 10% to 100, or to no one's really at like 100, but like going to like 80, because like completely eliminating lust. Like there were anyone yeah, put your comments in there if someone just like completely eliminated lust for long periods of time. Like I actually have for like a year or two, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. Like I just don't care. Like my mind's wrapped up in spirituality and God. Like I'm not lusting over women at all. And then like it would come back like in the summertime or something. Like it just came back with a vengeance, you know. And then it disappears. So I mean, you're still in a physical body. You're still gonna have vices and stuff like that, but you don't want them to completely control your life. But I mean, for me, I just feel like it was common sense. Like there was something in my mind that was kind of like pushing me towards that practice. Like I didn't even know like it was a practice. And my friend just started laughing. He's like, what are you doing, spiritual practices now or something? Like it was just, it was like funny to him. Cause I'm like, that's spiritual practice? He's like, yeah, dude, that's like, you're taking like vows of chastity and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, I never really thought of it that way. But I was just doing it for all the wrong reasons. And I mean, that's fine too. I mean, if you'd never experienced that, just go for it. We're just here to experience things. But anyway, yeah, leave in the comments, what stages you're at and stuff like that. I like to hear that stuff. It's interesting to me. If there's some Jesus-like being out there that's listening to this, or Buddha-like being, well, I mean, if they were, they wouldn't be listening to YouTube. They wouldn't be listening to me on YouTube. So, I mean, this is the lunatic from the woods. You guys stay blessed. Be well. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll leave a journal up there, my semen retention journal, and a link to my shop in the description. You guys have a good day.